Hey y'all, Data Guy here. And apologies if you don't usually come to the channel for AI content, but it's something I've been super interested later in recently and working with. So I wanted to make some content on it because I like doing it. And if you guys like this, please let me know in the comments. If you don't, also let me know in the comments, and I won't keep talking about ChatGPT and OpenAI. But if you do like it, please like and subscribe. And today, what I'm going to show you is just kind of a run through of all of the most recent additions to OpenAI and to ChatGPT and how you can kind of use them within your own business or within your own just personal life to help you write better code, to help you write better LinkedIn posts, to really help you do anything. Uh, so today, just going to get right into it. So the first thing I want to show off, so I'm sure many of you know how to interact with regular ChatGPT, but something not a lot of people know about is this platform.openai playground, and you can get this access to this just by signing up for an OpenAI account and then putting down a credit card for an AI key or for AI tokens. And don't even worry about like it costing a ton of money because your AI, your token generation is just based off of like every 1,000 tokens. So every time, like let's say I write a message like, "Hello, my name is George. Tell me how to make $1 million." This will only cost me about 0.0002 cents. So really good way to start working with OpenAI in an actual effective way without needing to pay $20 a month. So as long as you're not using it in absolutely insane amount, this might actually be cheaper than paying for an Open or ChatGPT Plus. You don't get access to ChatGPT 4 though, so there are some downsides, but just wanted to throw it out there. And so what this new assistance feature is basically a way to create uh, almost like a specified ChatGPT that you can then use for a chatbot, on your front end of your website, that you could use to say, hey, every time my business has an issue or wants to analyze this piece of data, submit this CSV file that in a format that, my data buddy has been trained on, and then it will actually take that data and visualize it for me in a certain way. So here, if I add different functions, you can also have things like, let me get weather, save. So if I write something like get weather, you can also, so first, what you'll do to create an assistant is just add a name. Then you'll have your instructions, which is just basically how you want it to act. So this is very similar to typical prompt engineering where you just want to tell the system to act in a certain way for further messages, except now you don't have to say, hey, act like this persona for all further questions. It automatically knows to use whatever instructions are in there to dictate how it will actually interact with the user. So then you can choose which model you need to use. You pretty much have to use the Turbo 1106 because it's the only one that's compatible with Assistants right now. So I don't even know why they have the other options if you can't use them. Then you can also add functions like I just showed you before. So if you have something like a JavaScript function and you want to get weather, so here now if I saved it, save get weather. This will then know, hey, because I have called or just set in get weather, location true. And yeah, so it'll basically take my current location. So here, if I go into get weather, the city and description, so it's actually kind of crazy. I don't even think I gave it my location, so that's a little creepy. But current weather in New York is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. It's actually not true. It's 53 degrees, so it's wrong here. But cool that they have these types of functions, right? Maybe it's just their backend weather system that they're using is off. You can also tell it, hey, do you want to be able to interpret code? So if I want to, have an assistant that every time someone comes to my website, I want to be able to give it a file. And here I have a file of dog intelligence. Add it, downloads, customer info.csv, and then add and send. Please analyze this data set to find the best customers. add and run. And somehow CSVs aren't supported. So there is still some bugs in this. This is a beta feature, so that's why I'm getting on the first of it. But it's a little annoying that you can't even upload CSV files. I need to figure out what files are actually possible. And then the cool thing is, and this is kind of what I really wanted to get into, is that all of this can be managed via the API. So in this playground, you're able to just interact with it without needing to actually use just API, or without needing to write all these API queries yourself. So what this is really useful for, and let me show you what this looks like. So let's say you wanted to add this to your website. All you need to do is add a JavaScript that says, hey, you have your assistant ID, which will be right here. So I'll use this assistant ID. Hey, please tell me where the best place to get or to make money is. And then here we have post threads. So every chat now is defined in a thread. So your thread object, this is just encompassing this specific thread. So when you post just to create a thread, your response will be with a certain thread ID here. And then you have this other post request where I'm going to post a user with that thread ID. Hey, please tell me where the best place to make money is. And then I'm going to just keep hitting a get request until I get an actual response. So here, the first time it's null, there hasn't been a response generated, so it hasn't been added to the thread. Once it has been, then I'm going to post a thread run. So let me actually just scale this up a bit so you guys can see better. So here, it has my instructions in there. It knows this is all my response. I don't actually have to, you just have to include in your request body that assistant ID I talked about earlier. Post that thread that I've added my message to, and then this assistant will go through this thread, look at it all, so get whether it has all the different functions I've added to it, and then here all this is then doing is just polling the ChatGPT endpoint until there has been a new message creation. So you can see here, so status in progress. So once the status goes to, where is it? Not from in progress into, yeah. So here, again, we have completed. So now that it's finally completed, we then have another get that's going to get the most recent value from that thread. So you can see here, just the thread ID role assistant, getting that text, and then you'll see it then posting it into our additional thread. So serving it back in here. So then if I wanted to wrap this in a JavaScript, super easy, just wrap the different API functions together to be able to say, hey, once a user submits a new function, add it to the thread or a new message, add it to that existing thread using that specific assistant ID. And then what's really cool is also, you can, there's a full API docs for this as well. So here you can go in through here, it'll give you all the different actual scripts you need to effectively run this yourself. So you can see displaying the system's response once the run completes. So just perform that queue action, and you can create assistants either using the interface right there, and you just create them in the UI, or you can create them programmatically with the ChatGPT endpoint. And so here, you can just see creating it up with an uploaded file. Let's see what file they use for. I'm gonna need to figure out what formats, because I think it's crazy. And then so here, just kind of the tools. There's not a lot of tools out there right now because people need to actually build them. But right now there's the code interpreter, function calling, supported file. Let's see what files support. Okay, so they do support CSV. So I'm gonna have to have some words with Sam Altman, I think. So here, after you submitted outputs, just once you hit that complete, it'll stay in queued, and you can serve that back to your actual users. And so that's kind of just all the things on the assistant side of things. And then I also wanted to show you similarly how you can create different GPTs for different scenarios within the regular ChatGPT interface if you're a Plus user. So here, now you can actually create your own GPT. So if you go to Chat, OpenAI, GPT's Discovery, here, there are some example ones made by ChatGPT, like a tech support advisor, visionary painter, cosmic dream. I want to see what this is. Visionary painter of show me a galactic battle. And so I'll pause this, wait for generate, see what it comes up with. So this is a pretty crazy output. Behold the cosmic chaos. very positive for a galactic battle. So I don't really know. I wouldn't say I'm impressed with this, but it's just one example of like, how you can create a different GPT. So here, if I go back to my GPT page, if you want to create your own GPT for a specific use case, here you can say, hey, this is a GPT builder. So this isn't actually messaging GPT. This is saying, hey, this is how I want this to perform, much like how before you could use personas. And so here, if I go to create a new GPT, please create me a JavaScript front-end expert helper to produce effective front-end code for me. So here, press start, and then it'll actually prompt you for additional kind of things that you want it to be able to do. So if you see GPT Builder, it'll update GPT, so I'll just pause this and let it run. So here, give it a name. So yes, great name. And so here now you'll see actually in the preview, it'll generate new scripts. It'll say, hey, how do I optimize this JavaScript function? And so here, if I want to say, hey, it's the best way to implement responsive design in CSS. And you can see I can actually do these in parallel, which is pretty nice. And it'll give me tactics on how to implement really specific CSS queries or responsive designs in CSS. And so here, it'll generate me code and just generally be like my CSS assistant. So super cool stuff here. And then, it has this fun little wizard profile as well. So create as many of these as you want. And yeah, it's really cool just for like, hey, I want to have this, because something I've used ChatGPT before is, as I do the persona, you have to just copy and paste that at the start of each chat. This now allows me to have, like, let's say, a data guy assistant who helps me come up with topics for videos, right? And I just keep asking, hey, what are the most recent data? Because now ChatGPT can also search the internet for the most recent data. So another cool tip. If you've kind of faded ChatGPT for a while and you haven't tried it out or haven't seen some of those recent features, really encourage you to jump back in. Again, if you like this video, let me know. If you don't, just let me know you hate it, and I will stop talking about ChatGPT. But wanted to at least make this video. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and have a good rest of your day. Data Guy out.